Marshall. Welcome to the world of terrifying imagination. Make yourself comfortable for the moment. You know, evil has a vitality that defies time. Its power can be curbed, denied, defeated, but only temporarily. And when it returns, its force is more malevolent than ever. We have all been to dark places and felt the presence of evil. And we've all seen things beyond our power of understanding. But, like Tom Fairley, we field our explanations for everything. Or are there?
Cold, bitter cold, the smell, decayed.
No, he's unconscious. We'll talk to him later. Folger, did your men find anything else?
Just the grass. It's curious, Tom.
I don't see anything, Klaus.
Yes, you do, Tom, but it doesn't mean anything to you. We weren't here when we found Flip. The area is flattened. And there's a same strange discoloration.
What's all this got to do with Frank here?
I don't know. But I promise you, I'll find out.
Our mystery drama, Frankenstein Revisited, was written especially for the Radio Mystery Theater by Milt Wissoff and stars Michael Wager and Leon Janney. I'll be back shortly with Act One. We move now from the friendly people who make these broadcasts possible to the monsters who will make it impossible for you to sleep, I hope. Our drama opens on a story conference in the Madison Avenue bar. It will end, I assure you, in terror and fear.
Over here. Here, Tom. You sure picked a great place for a meeting.
Yeah, well, you're late.
I didn't have to fight my way to the mob at the bar. I might have been here sooner. All right, what's on your mind, Frank?
Well, I've been looking for a special that we can use as a springboard for our new horror series. And what's more appropriate than the old Frankenstein legend?
You mean Boris Karloff and his magic electrodes?
No, Tom. Not the hokey monster brought to life by the mad scientist. That was cooked up by Mary Shelley. It doesn't rate with the gothic tale everyone in Germany knows about the infamous Baron Von Frankenstein and his terrible death. It's got all the elements of a superb spook show. What's more, this is the 400th anniversary of the Baron's death.
So what?
So this, old buddy. The monster is reputed to return every century looking for fresh blood.
It won't work, Frank. I was stationed near Darmstadt, only a stone's throw away from the Frankenstein castle after World War I. I've seen the place. It doesn't look like much. Even the burial crypt has been turned into a potato cellar.
Well, how about the incidents you mentioned at cocktails the other night? That's what really put me onto the show.
Oh, those killings I blabbed about had nothing to do with any monster. The police were satisfied the murders were committed by a fanatical group of neo-Nazis who call themselves the werewolves. Who's going to be interested in a defunct castle on an anniversary nobody celebrates?
Well, they will this year. We're going to billboard the 400th anniversary with a gala festival.
Well, who's going to show? The peasants used to have a fit when I even mentioned the Baron's name. That was almost 30 years ago.
Oh, they'll come. We're going to have sausage and beer, fireworks, and a dandy house of horrors to set the stage for our countdown to midnight.
A fake documentary, papier-mâché, razzle-dazzle.
The storyline is sound. It should scare the heck out of people. Now, if you don't want to direct the special, then speak up.
All right. Stop me in.
Good. Come on, square with me, Tom. Why all the bull about the potato cellar? You don't want to go back there, do you?
No, Frank, I don't like the place.
Then why not back out? I don't feel you're leveling.
Frank, I want to keep on directing for the network. I won't let anything stand in my way. Not you, not the gray hairs creeping up on me. Not even Frankenstein and his blasted castle. Just let me leave this one thought with you. We'll see how much you enjoy the scene when midnight approaches. I'd like to hear the tune you whistle when the wind howls.
Mr. Larkin. Mr. Larkin here. Oh, so good to see you again. And you too, Mr. Shelley. Oh, Klaus, I'd like you to meet our little company. This is Eileen Garrett, who will play the Baron's ward, Laura.
And a charming one, I'm sure.
Him I like.
And Flip Johnson, also known in the industry as The Voice. He'll do the descriptive background at the festival and the castle, the interviews with the man on the street. He will also double as Rolf, the suitor for Eileen's hand.
That won't take much acting. In that case, you might do.
This is Klaus Folger, our local representative, who will be our strong right hand during the production.
When do we meet Mr. Helmut?
Very soon. You'll find he makes an admirable Baron.
That's very strange. I've never heard of him.
Oh, he's quite a well-known actor, I assure you. Now I think it's time to leave for the castle. It's not the plaza, but I hope you will find it comfortable.
Well, I'm sure we will. Who goes with whom?
There's enough room in the limousine for all of you. The baggage will follow in a small wagon. Truck.
How about you, Klaus? Aren't you coming with us?
No, Frank, I will see that the baggage is not consigned to München by mistake. But I will join you later.
I wonder what Mr. Helmut, our Baron, is like. I have a feeling.
Oh, Eileen, now you sound like Gloom and Doom Fairley. He's probably just another average, run-of-the-mill weirdo.
You've done a great job, Klaus. Even the crew's happy in the trailers.
I like my room fine. It's a bit drafty when the drapes are open, but the comforters will keep me warm, I'm sure.
How about this lunch?
I haven't had wild boar since the last time I was here.
Oh, is that what it was? It tasted like suckling pig.
The secret is in the marinade, Flip.
I see.
Klaus, why don't you get the ball rolling? The details on the Frankenstein legend.
Oh, it's not a complicated story. The hated aristocrat who exercised all the prerogatives of his position in this village almost 400 years ago. Unmerciful beatings, torture, and death for what he considered affronts to his person. This was his home.
Be it ever so humble.
The Baron lived here with his ward Laura, but he was a thoroughly evil man and hardly behaved toward her like an uncle should. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the Baron's death. 400 years ago, the Baron had a spectacular scene in the castle with Laura and her suitor Rolf. He mounted his horse and rode off into the woods. Someone or something ripped him from his horse and tore him to pieces.
And the legend says that every century the monster that killed the Baron returns. That's about it. And we'll be doing this direct from the scene tomorrow night.
We'll have a short run through this evening. Look for places to spot mics and pick out locations.
Flip will stroll through the woods and give us a little ad-lib color.
Will there be a crowd there? Not in the woods, Flip, baby. Just you and the Baron and the other monster. Oh, how come? Because no one in this area will venture into the woods after dark. And tomorrow night, the anniversary eve, they may not even stir out of their homes. Is that right, Klaus?
Possibly. People here are very superstitious.
Oh, are they? Why don't you explain what happened 100 years ago on the last anniversary?
I was not yet born.
Yeah, but you know what happened.
A man was found dead.
Dead, Klaus? He was butchered, wasn't he? Torn to shreds? And his head was found at the foot of the hill.
Well, Frank, this is it.
Well, I hate to admit it, Klaus, but Tom may have a point about the castle grounds. It is kind of tacky.
Well, I'm not sure I agree. Physically, it's not much, but the decay, the feeling I get, I'm really frightened.
Oh, come on now, Princess. You're letting that creep's tail get under your skin. There's nothing here but battered stone and dirt. Reminds me of my past.
I get bad vibes. It reminds me of a trip I took to Central America years ago. The ruined pyramids, the bloody altars where thousands were sacrificed to bloodthirsty gods. It had the same aura of evil.
You are most perceptive, Miss Garrett. Evil is everywhere.
Who are you?
I am Paul Helmut. He will play the Baron in our production.
How did you know my name?
No mystery about that. You are the only actress in the cast.
course. Oh, forgive me, Mr. Helmet. You came upon me so suddenly.
Yeah, well, where did you come from? I never saw
From
you.
the Baron's bedroom. A passage leads directly here. The place is honeycombed with such passages.
But there are no other cars around. How did you...
I arrived here several days ago.
You've been here several days alone? Oh, I don't think I'd enjoy that.
I like to get into character, Miss Garrett.
Well, now that we're all together, I'd like Flip to walk through the woods and give us his impressions.
Oh, swell, off the top of my head.
Exactly. Anything you see and feel, don't force it. I want this played low-key, sound natural. It'll help build the finish.
He's all hooked up, Frank. He can start at any time.
Well, listen, are you going to tape this?
Yes, but only so that we have a record of it. Tomorrow is for keeps. Go, Tiger. Get the demons in the woods.
Well, I play the scene better if Eileen kept me company.
Oh, there's no moon, Flip. And I'd hardly call this a romantic setting.
Ah, romance is where you find it, Mama.
Is everything set, Klaus?
Yes. My assistant is about 100 yards in. Flip should be just about there now.
I don't want to interfere, Frank, but just what's going on?
A surprise for our boy. It should make Flip less Flip.
Yeah, we have our men play slightly off the path. We make small noises, sounds, create an atmosphere.
Does Flip know?
Of course not. That would defeat our purpose. Flip reacts beautifully. It will all be a surprise to him.
Frank, that's a dirty trick. Suppose something happens.
Well, now what can possibly happen? It's just a small forest, trees and grass.
Well, I don't like it. Flip?
It's no use, Miss Garrett. He cannot hear you.
Klaus, give your man a cue and bring Flip in.
Well, I'm about a quarter of a mile into Baron Frankenstein's woods, and it's pretty much Dulceville so far. I was just thinking how strange it is. Haven't seen any animals around. Wait a minute. I think I just heard something. Probably a rabbit. I hope. Hey, there it goes again. Weird. Everything's so deathly still, and then suddenly just the faintest whisper of a sound, like something dragging. Hey, who's there? Do you think you're frightening me? Okay, I'll go in after you. The eyes. I can see them growing. My God, it can't be. Oh, no, it's...
The bard said, some find tongues in trees, books in running brooks, and sermons in stones. Obviously, Flip saw and heard a great deal more in Frankenstein's woods. Or did he? Perhaps we shall know more when I return shortly with Act 2. I'm giving it up.
Giving up what?
Smoking.
Congratulations.
I'm doing it for you and the kids.
For me and the kids? But we don't smoke.
You're wrong. I saw this lung association message. You know what? We smokers are making you non-smokers smokers just like us.
Whatever are you talking about?
I'm talking about secondhand smoking. The lung association says I'm doing myself in, as if I didn't know. But my smoke is trouble for everybody in my neighborhood. Do you realize every puff I smoke, I'm puffing out a smoke screen of carbon monoxide, nicotine, benzopyrene, to say nothing of hydrocarbons.
You sound positively poisonous.
I feel poisonous. I'm quitting.
For me, darling.
Yes, and for me, darling, I want to be loved. Your lung association says the smoker who quits for more than one person. He's clearing the air for everybody. You might say it's a matter of love and breath. Are there more things in heaven and earth than are dreamt of in our philosophy? Is there something in Frankenstein's woods that defies rational explanation? Or was Flip Johnson the victim of his own imagination? Perhaps if we push on with our little tale,
we shall have the answer.
Flip, are you all right?
Wait a minute. Yeah, I think
happened?
so. I don't know. I was just strolling along, and wham, the lights went out.
What did you see?
Nothing.
But we heard you, Flip. The eyes, you said. The eyes.
Now, wait a minute. What are you talking about? I saw nothing.
We have it on tape. You complained about the cold.
In the strange lights, the eyes that burn bright.
You said it was impossible.
All I remember is waking up, and there you were. I mean, standing right over me.
What did your men find, Klaus?
Let me show you, Frank. Now, here we are. The point where Flip started to run. And you can see the prints. Now we follow along for a few yards. And here we have
Orange circle. In the middle, discolored. As if the grass had been frozen.
Frank, is this something that you...
We had nothing to do with that, did we, Klaus?
That's right.
I admit we arranged a few effects, but nothing more.
No, we would have had to have special refrigerating equipment. Well below zero to make such marks.
Well, how do you like it, folks?
It's fantastic. Instant carnival by Frank Rockin.
No, Tom. Give credit where it's due. Klaus engineered the whole setup.
It's not so difficult. We have a long tradition of festivals here.
I could almost enjoy this if only...
Don't forget it, Island. Nothing really happened. Flip just got panicky and ran. He fell, blacked out. He'll be all right. Klaus, are we set in the House of Horrors?
Yeah, we can go at any time.
Good. You all know the routine.
We already have good coverage in town and at the zoo.
Let's zero in on the big scene.
All right. We'll pick up Flip and Eileen as the Baron's ward, Laura. Now, you Flip her suitor, Ralph, and you meet her at the House of Horrors. I'll take over, Frank. You don't mind. I'll not earn my credits.
I was just counting on that, Tom. The show's all yours.
You ready, Klaus? All set, Mr. Fairley. All right, start it, Klaus. Scene 12, take 1. And... action.
The Baron is not expected before tonight, dearest.
Not until quite late. I think I shall stay here forever. It is so enchanting. I'm sick of formality, Ralph. I'm bored with the same walls, the same faces, the same small talk.
And the same guardian.
I feel almost free here.
And then why not leave? Come away with me.
Once when I was a child, my father took me to such a fair. He filled me with cakes and pink drinks.
Yes, and you always got sick.
Oh, but it was worth it. I enjoyed it so.
Oh, look, Laura, look. This is the House of Horrors.
It doesn't look so horrible. All tinsel and paint.
Come inside with me.
All right, cut. Hey, that was right on the nose, kids. It's a perfect first take.
Oh, good.
All right, that's it for now. We'll pick up the woods near the castle at 8 tonight. Just take it easy until then. Klaus, you'll have your crew setting up at 7, right?
At 7, Mr. Fairley.
Honey, you in a hurry?
No, why?
Well, how about a turn through the House of Horrors? Give it the $5 tour?
I could use the exercise.
Good. You pick the passage, we'll follow it.
Let me see. It's the teeth, jibbity, zippity, Sam.
Sam it is.
Oh, this reminds me of my first date.
All first dates are creepy. Mine had a walleye.
And mine took me to the tunnel of love. Our first kiss was an orthodontist's nightmare. Braces rubbing against braces. We sent out sparks that lit the tunnel.
It's too bad we're past the braces stage.
You know, Tom, that's the first time I've heard you laugh since we started this trip.
There's nothing much to laugh at.
Was it that bad?
Yeah. I get the feeling I'm reliving the whole thing. I don't know why.
Well, I'm a pretty good listener, Tom. Want to talk about it?
Well, why not? It was 45 and the war was just over. We'd been through some rough times and we were sent here for R&R.
R&R?
Rest and recreation.
Oh.
Seemed like heaven at first. So peaceful. No noise, no bloodshed. But it turned sour. Some of my buddies got blown away.
Did they ever discover who did it?
Not a clue. The Army Command blamed the neo-Nazis, the werewolves. But the townspeople were convinced it had something to do with the Mad Baron. It's a bad scene.
And you?
I believe what I see. But it did shake me. I'm glad Flip is all right.
So am I.
But not for the same reason?
Oh, look, Tom. Flip and I are just friends. Casual friends.
That's the best news I've had in days.
What's that up ahead?
Looks like a treadle.
Well, what are we waiting for? Treadles are for treading. Step on it. Oh!
Disturbed my slumber. I will have revenge.
That's one heck of an effect. The Baron in non-living rubber expanding before your very eyes. This would be sensational at Macy's parade.
Cross didn't overlook a thing. It should go over big with the tourists and the people in the village.
On the contrary, after the first person sees this, it will keep them away.
Helmut, where did you come from?
What are you doing here?
Just visiting?
Oh, you startled us.
I know. I seem to have the same effect on the people in town.
You look familiar to me. I've seen you before, but I can't remember where.
Shadows and half-light make strange impressions. I wonder if you can give me a hand, Mr. Fairley.
With what?
Something I found in a recess back there.
Okay, lead the way.
What is it?
I don't know. Signs of digging. I was about to see what it was when I heard your voices. Here.
Hey, you're right, Helmut. Those are fresh marks. Don't come any closer, Irene.
What is it?
A wild boar, I think.
What's left of it? It's not a pretty sight.
It's literally been ripped apart.
Yes? I understand. It will be all over tonight. No, we'll finish the rest back in the States. You can count on that.
What was that all about?
The town council. They want us out as soon as possible. They were polite but firm. Too many things been happening. Flip and then the dead boar. The word's getting around and is becoming amplified in each telling. Did your visit to town pay off?
I think so. It was tough getting permission to go through the old records. The clerk of the city hall was a perfect bureaucrat. He insisted on an application countersigned by his boss. I threatened to go to the burgomaster, and he caved in.
Well, how about the newspaper?
They were reluctant, too, but greedy. A few marks in the right palm paved the way.
Well...
All right, see for yourself. Here's a reproduction of the paper's front page 100 years ago. Take a squint at the guy who was separated from his head.
I don't know. It's pretty well faded.
Look at the eyes and the forehead.
It could be, I suppose.
And here's a print of an oil painting of the original Baron Von Frankenstein.
I believe Mr. Fairley thinks the picture resembles me.
All right, Helmut, where the devil did you come from?
This old castle is honeycombed with secret passages.
And you just keep wandering through them like you know where you are.
I have been exploring them for days.
You know, Tom, there is a resemblance.
A trick of your imagination.
I knew I'd seen you somewhere before.
You're talking nonsense, gentlemen. I could not possibly have been here a century ago, let alone 400 years.
How about 30 years ago?
I was only a child then.
What about your family?
I have none. They were killed in the war. Does that satisfy you, Mr. Larkin?
I don't know about Frank, but it sure doesn't clear things up for me. Stay inside until midnight, Helmut. You understand?
Perfectly.
And stay out of the passages until the show's been recorded. I don't want any more surprises.
This place is beginning to get me. I'd be glad to get it over with.
Dinner is ready. We'll eat in here tonight.
Just as long as it isn't boar. Hey, where's Eileen?
She has a headache.
Well, I better go up and see if I can do anything for her.
It's not necessary. I've sent some food up to her. I have some bad news. 3 members of the crew quit. They were all as frightened as the townspeople.
Bad news? That's all we need.
Well, I have replaced them, but with such short notice, I'm afraid I've not been able to run up the most competent technicians.
I don't imagine what's happened today helped much.
Well, that's all right, Klaus. I know you've done your best, and We'll just keep our fingers crossed.
Hey, pass the salad, will you, Tom? Nothing stops your appetite, does it, Fred? No, I'm just a growing boy, Tom. I need fuel for my engines.
What's that?
Darlene.
It's just behind that wall.
Impossible. There's nothing there.
You keep trying the wall. There may be a passage there. I'm going to a roll. I'm with you. Look, the place is a mess. Everything's happened to Eileen. I know, Tom. Look, footsteps in blood. They lead up to the panel. All right, let's knock a hole in it. It's no use. That's oak, several inches thick.
Yeah. Press this calm.
Where did you come from, Helmut?
All right, we'll talk about that later. Hey, look, it's moving. And here she is. Eileen. Eileen. Honey. Here. That's good. She's coming around. Are you all right, Eileen?
I think so.
What happened?
I was lying in bed, trying to pull myself together. It was dark and cool. Suddenly I felt something in the room. I sat upright, but I couldn't see anything. I knew it was there. I stepped off the bed, felt something warm and sticky. I panicked and ran. Next thing I knew, I was being held. And then... nothing.
You fainted.
I suppose so. Just as I was going out, I heard my name.
Who was it?
I don't know. It was just a whisper.
A nightmare, perhaps?
A nightmare? With a German accent.
Robert Penn Warren wrote, "The nightmare stumbles past, and you have heard it fumble at your door before it whimpers and is gone. It acts like the old hound that used to snuffle your door and moan. But who, your host inquires, has heard it speak with accent foreign?" We shall return shortly with more on the Castle of Bad Dreams in Act 3.
This is Mel Blanc, and voices are my business. In Warner Brother cartoons, you probably know me as the crazy little character...
Daffy Duck.
or,
Porky Pig.
or...
Bugs Bunny Duck.
We all have a voice in matters that affect us in our community, and it's necessary to speak out to get the best possible community services. One community tradition, which really deserves vocal support, is the library. The library has been serving up all kinds of information ever since this country began. After all, you can get thousands of voices in the library's books, on film, records, and tapes, and you can borrow these voices freely. But the library can't give you such good service without a lot of vocal and personal support from you. This means you need to write or call your community officials and speak up for the library.
It's all in the air, folks. At the library.
A public service message from the American Library Association and this station.
If you have ever ridden a nightmare, you know what a hellish mount it can make. It carries you unwillingly beyond anguish and terror, through deadly whispers and pools of blood. But oh, the relief when it's over. Let's return now to Act 3 and the end of the ride.
How's Eileen doing, Tom?
Physically fine, but she's as tight as a drum. Now, look, why don't we get the police in, Frank?
No way. We've got 2 strikes against us in town now. Call the authorities in and we're through. We've gone too far.
We certainly have. We're right up against the point of no return.
But the production is almost
Oh,
finished.
damn the production! What does it take to convince you, corpses?
You're being melodramatic, Tom. Nothing's really happened yet. So Flip saw something and a boar was slaughtered.
Did you see the condition Eileen's room was in? And how did she get into the passageway?
Surely you've heard of sleepwalking.
And I suppose she dreamed up the mangled animal in the blood, huh?
No. But so far, no one's been hurt.
Yeah, so far.
And nothing is going to happen. Well, we've got everybody on the alert. There are guards all around the place. Klaus has brought some extra men in. We've taken every precaution.
Every precaution except the most obvious one. Now, let's get out of here, Frank, before it's too late.
Not until the show's wrapped up. Come in. What is it, Helmut?
Volker says we're ready. Oh, you used the door this time, Helmut. What happened? The passageway blocked?
Why the get-up? You won't be on camera, you know.
Just a few replicas of the Baron's wardrobe to help me get into character. Authentic, I can assure you.
You're taking this role quite seriously.
I take all my roles that way. And only one way to act. If that's all, I'll be going.
Okay, tell them Mr. Fairley will be right there.
All right, what's up, Frank? I should be splitting too.
Now, look, Tom, I don't feel there are any grounds for your suspicions, but I've had some checks made on Helmut's past. What he's done, where he comes from. I expect a report any moment now. That should clear the air.
Well, I hope so.
Now, all I ask is let's get the job done. Don't let your feelings get in the way.
I won't. But if the news is sour, don't keep it from me, will you? In this case, ignorance can be disaster.
Oh, boy, it's getting cold out here, Tom. What's taking them so long?
They're almost set. How do you feel, Eileen?
About like Flip. Cold and miserable. Oh, I could use a fireplace and a hot toddy.
That's just what you'll have as soon as we finish this scene. It's short, but not sweet. Now, you and Flip, as the Baron's ward and your suitor, are returning to the castle. You got it? You're frightened, and Flip is trying to comfort you.
Ah, good. That's one scene I'll truly enjoy.
Mr. Fairley, why didn't you answer me on the talk back?
I didn't hear anything.
The equipment must be out. We're set to go.
Oh, good. Where's Frank Larkin?
I thought he was with you. He left us some time ago.
Did he say where he was going?
I assumed he was coming here. He did say something strange.
What was that?
Something about being convinced at last. Does that mean anything to you?
It sure does, Klaus. Send your men through the woods and the castle grounds.
I think we're just wasting our time. Let's go back to the castle and wait. He'll be along.
You can go back, Flip. I'm not going to give up until we find Frank. Oh. We shall have the crypto search and Klaus's crew to hear from.
Mr. Fairley, Mr. Larkin. We found him. Come quickly. This way, Mr. Fairley. In the clearing.
Is he hurt?
Yes. I think badly. There.
Frank, are you all right?
He cannot hear you, I'm afraid.
Oh, but he's still breathing. Get an ambulance.
Help is on the way.
Was he conscious at all?
No.
Oh, no, don't try to talk, Frank. We're here. You're going to be all right.
Frank, just lie quietly.
Don't come near me. Don't touch me. Don't.
He's shivering. Throw a blanket on him.
Who did this, Frank?
Cold. Damp. And the smell.
Who was it?
Cold. Bitter cold. And smell. Decayed.
Frank! Is he...
No. He's unconscious. We'll talk to him later. Olga, did your men find anything else?
Just the grass. It is curious, Tom.
What? I don't see anything.
Yes, you do, but it doesn't mean anything to you. You weren't here when we found Flip. The areas flattened, and the same strange discoloration.
What's all this got to do with Frank?
I don't know. But I promise you, I'll find out. Hello? Listen, I'm calling about Mr. Frank Larkin. The patient in room 305. You understand me? Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shout. I see. Thank you.
Tom, what did they say?
His condition is stable. That's what every hospital says unless you're dying.
Do they expect him to be there long?
Just a few days. You know, it's all so strange. So many things have happened. Flip, you, and now Frank. And nobody's been really hurt badly.
There are a few mangled animals.
Yes, well, that's what's bugging me. The animals get slaughtered, but people are more frightened than hurt. Except for Frank's close shave. Well, why? It doesn't make any sense. Anything powerful enough to mash some poor defenseless creature surely could do more damage than that.
Well, maybe there's no connection between any of the things that have happened.
Oh, that'd be part of coincidence on coincidence. I don't believe it, and I don't think Frank did either. After he got that phone call he was waiting for.
Well, then why don't you call the police?
For the same reason that Frank didn't.
But you kept begging Frank to delay the production.
Oh, not now. I'm going to finish it tonight, for Frank's sake. But I'm going to be sure that whoever's behind this pays the price.
And how will you do that, Mr. Fairley?
Oh. I guess you tried the door once and didn't care for it, huh?
It is easier to use the passageway. You didn't answer my question?
I know I didn't. The reason is simple. I don't know yet. But I will before tonight's over.
You mentioned a phone call Mr. Larkin received.
Yes. If only I knew what it was.
Perhaps I can help you.
How?
The telephone lines into the castle were of special installation. An exact record is kept at the company of every call made from and into the building.
Well, then all we have to do is call the company and find out.
Not exactly. They will give it to the police, however.
That's out.
Why?
Please, Tom, call them in. And the next time, whoever's doing this may forget the difference between man and beast.
She's right, Mr. Fairley. You do not know whom you are dealing with.
Do you?
I'll be the same. I will see you shortly, when the fun begins.
Okay, Klaus, let's get some levels.
Get Flip to say a few lines. We need some levels.
Okay. This is Flip Johnson in the burial crypt underneath the Frankenstein castle.
That's enough, fine. Thank you. Now stand by.
See if you can sharpen up the sound, Klaus.
Yeah, I will try.
All right, Eileen. You get to the Baron's room in the castle. Helmet's there already. We'll do your scene first.
Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about a thing. We've got everything under control. I'll see you later. Klaus, pick up Helmet. Tell him Eileen's on her way.
Yeah. Helmut? Helmut. Mr. Fairley would like to speak with you. Get on the talk back. Helmut? Are you there, Helmut? Get to the talk back.
Give me that, will you? Helmut, this is Tom Fairley.
I'm here, Tom, but no sign of Helmut.
Where the devil is he?
I don't know.
Oh, damn. Ask one of the men outside the door to check. You stay put.
He says he saw Helmut heading for the crypt some time ago.
Klaus, see if you can find him. I'll handle things here.
Yeah.
Flip, do you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, Tom. You ready for me now?
Have you seen Helmut?
Nope. He's supposed to be here?
Just stand by. Eileen, have they found Helmut yet?
No. What's going on?
I don't know.
I think we had better go to the crypt scene first. I've seen him through the passageway, but there are no signs of Helmut.
I guess you're right. Flip,
Yeah, what now?
start your narration, and if you spot Helmut, let me know, huh?
Okay. This is Flip Johnson in the burial crypt underneath the Frankenstein castle. It is said that every century the monster that slew Baron Von Frankenstein returns to feed his bloodlust. And every century the Baron returns from his grave to meet his fate again. We are less than a minute from the hour of midnight, when all this is supposed to take place. The question is, what will happen here tonight? In just a few seconds we shall know. This burial crypt is one solid room cut out of deep rock. Behind the crypt is a tunnel leading to other burial vaults and to passages that have never been truly explored. It is reputed that 1,000 years of Frankenstein lie buried here. But, wait a minute, cut it, Tom. I have to stop. Listen, are you picking up any sounds?
Yes, something that sounds like dragging. Do you see anything?
Oh, no, but the sounds are getting louder. Tom, are you trying to pull something?
No, Flip, believe me. Why would I try to pull it?
Something seems to be dragging. I hear breathing. At least that's where I think it is. It's getting cold and damp in here. Oh, I smell something horrible.
Get out, Flip. Get out as fast as you can. All right, close in, men. Get into the crypt as fast as you can. I want every man in
I
there.
can see them now. Eyes. Evil. Bright as cat's eyes. Glowing. And enormous. Oh, God, help me. I can't move. It's here. It's here. Who are you?
This is the crypt, Tom. Someone's heading into the passageway. Over there, I think it's Helmut.
What about Flip?
It's not good. His throat's been crushed. He's not breathing.
Somebody stay with Flip. The rest of you go after... Whatever is in that passageway. There. Stop! Stop, Helmut! Don't move. He's gone. What do you mean he's gone?
He's disappeared. Vanished. Into thin air. So, this is goodbye, my friends.
Yes, and I can't say I'm sorry to go.
Tell me, what will you do with the tapes?
I'll make a show out of them. Add a few scenes, and we'll be ready to send some shivers down our listeners' spines.
The publicity should help.
I suppose so. But I can't help wishing it hadn't come at such a price. Poor Flip. It was a costly show.
Klaus, we've been sparring around for quite a while now. Let's stop avoiding the subject. Who was Helmut?
An actor. That is all I know.
But without a past. The report I received was completely blank except for his acting credits. Nothing.
He was just an actor. Obsessed with a role.
Do you really think so, Klaus?
What else can I think?
Then how do you explain what happened in the crypts? After he attacked and killed Flip, you and your men closed in on him?
And he vanished.
Right before your eyes.
But there must be an explanation. You know, every inch of the castle and the grounds, every secret passageway.
Then you don't think he met the fate of the Mad Baron?
There were no signs of his remains.
Just some flattened, burned-out blades of grass.
It's an unbelievable climax for a legend.
Legends have no climax. They go on and on.
Drop us a line when you find out what really happened.
I promise. But if you don't hear from me soon, you may have to wait another century for the facts.
Since we don't have 100 years to spare, we'll just have to make up our own minds about Paul Helmut. Was he the infamous Baron Von Frankenstein brought back to life? Or was he, and I don't mean to be redundant, merely a crazed actor? I'll be back shortly. There is no need to look for a supernatural source of evil. Man has shown himself capable of every wickedness. But regardless of where it arises, evil has a vitality beyond time. Its power can be stemmed, but it will return. Our cast included Michael Wager, Leon Janney, Ralph Bell, E.V. Juster, and William Redfield. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Now, a preview of our next tale.
She ran out into the moor without a cloak. But Heathcliff's horse was not in the stable, and no one knew where he had gone. Catherine returned after midnight in the midst of a thunderstorm, soaked to the skin, and coming down with a severe chill. Oh, Miss Catherine, you must let me help you to bed.
He's gone, Nellie. He's gone. And my nightmares are coming true.
You'll feel better when you've had some sleep.
I'll never sleep again. I've been abandoned. Oh, it's just like my dreams. I saw myself tapping on the window, begging, "Let me in, let me in."
Oh, hush, child.
And no one answered. And my hand broke through the glass, so the blood was running down my arm. Oh, get the blood stains off, Nellie. Get the blood stains off.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the terrifying world of your own imagination. I would like to offer a few observations on the vagaries of the animal called man.
Take the popular saying, seeing is believing. What idiot first said that? And how many idiots repeat it since? Do you believe in love? Tell me the color of it. Do you believe in truth, goodness, mercy? What shapes do they come in? No, my friends. Seeing is not believing. Only believing is believing. And we'll prove it to you in the story that follows. Our mystery drama, The Ghost at the Gate, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Elspeth Eric and stars Beatrice Straight. With how much ease believe we what we wish? An English playwright named Dryden wrote that in the year 1679. Brilliant man, Mr. Dryden. But wait, listen to this. Men freely believe that which they desire. Someone else seems to have had the same idea. And he wasn't a 17th century English playwright. He was a Roman emperor named Julius Caesar, proving once again that no man in any age has a monopoly on wisdom. Now, let's get on with our story.
Come in, Dorothea.
Your chocolate, Mrs. Emery.
Oh, good.
Shall I light the fire in the fireplace?
Yes, please. I think it's chilly enough for... Oh, Dorothea.
Ma'am?
You forgot the other cup again.
I did.
I told you to always bring 2 cups.
Oh, it seems so silly.
I'll decide what's silly.
When there's just you to drink it.
I've explained that to you, Dorothea, more than once. I like to drink 2 cups of chocolate before retiring, and I don't like that icky sediment in the bottom of the cup.
I'll try, Mrs. Emery. Now, if that's all... Or do you want me to go downstairs and fetch up another cup?
Oh, no. Go to bed.
Oh. Good night, Mrs. Emery.
Good night, Dorothea. All right now, darling. Chocolate's all poured. Fire's lighted. Charles, everything's ready. Now, come on, darling, or the chocolate will get cold.
Don't want any chocolate.
Oh, Charles, you love chocolate. You've always loved chocolate.
Tastes like mud.
But it's very good chocolate. You know what good chocolate Dorothea makes. Now, come on, Charles. Don't make me wait.
You want me?
Want you? Oh, Charles, how can you ever ask such a thing? Why, I go through the whole day thinking of you. All afternoon at the community chest, I think about you. Why, darling, it's torture for me listening to those other women whose husbands are with them in the conventional way. I want to scream at them, but I have my Charles, you silly females. Every night he comes to my bedroom, and he's tall and handsome and brilliant and romantic and adorable and manly, and we sit and talk together, and he...
All right, Alice. That's enough.
There you are. Oh, Charles.
Missed me?
Oh, darling, the days are so terrible. I can't think of anything but this moment when we're together. But you know that, my dear. I tell you every single night.
I need to hear it, Alice. We who have more or less left this world can't come back unless we are wanted by someone who is still here. Wanted a lot. Otherwise, we can't make the trip, as it were. We can't even purchase a ticket, so to speak, unless we have a destination that is vibrant with love and need and desire.
But I love you and I need you. I desire you. You should know that, Charles.
Well, it doesn't hurt to hear it.
Here's your chocolate. Try it.
I don't want it.
Oh, Charles.
The longer we're away from this earth, Alice, the less we rely on our senses. The senses, in a manner of speaking, start to fade. Mashed potatoes begin to taste like cold cream, coffee tastes like iodine, and this chocolate tastes like mud. They tell me this is quite normal.
Charles, when you say they, they tell you this and they tell you that. You mean...
I mean them, of course. All those.
The ones up there?
It isn't up there, Alice. And it isn't down there, either.
Well, where is it?
It's simply there. Meaning not here. Heavens, I thought you knew that.
Are there a lot of them?
Of course there are a lot of them. It's all so vast, so endless, and so damnably peaceful.
I know what it is to be lonely, Charles. This big house, I couldn't bear to move out of it after you weren't here all the time, because I couldn't leave the place where you and I had spent so many happy years together.
Why don't you ask someone to move in with you?
Move in? Why, I never thought.
Such a large house. You could have separate quarters. You wouldn't be forever bumping into each other.
But who would want to move in? Who would I want to move in?
Oh, some old good friend?
Well, like who, Charles?
Oh, someone like Connie, maybe. Connie Lawrence.
Connie Lawrence? Well, I've certainly known her long enough. We were roommates at school. What do you think she'd want to?
She'll jump at the chance, would be my guess.
She still lives in that tiny one-room apartment. I know she's saving for a retirement. And with the pay school teachers get in this town. Charles, I'll call her tomorrow. She gets home from school at 3. Come in, Dorothea.
Your breakfast, Mrs. Emery.
Thank you.
You don't want 2 cups in the morning, do you?
Oh, no. No. Coffee doesn't leave that icky stuff the way chocolate does. Actually, I think I won't have chocolate at night anymore, Dorothea. I feel like trying something else. But 2 cups, just the same, don't forget.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't go just yet, Dorothea. I want to talk to you about something. Sit down, won't you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Dorothea, do you find the work too hard in this big house?
No, ma'am.
Well, we used to have a houseman and an upstairs maid and a cook.
Oh, I've no complaints, Mrs. Emery, if you don't.
Oh, I don't.
This is the only job I've ever had. I've worked here for 22 years. I was so fond of both you and Mr. Emery right from the start, and I still am of you. And, well, goodness knows I practically worship this house. It's so beautiful. I love taking care of it, and I love living in it.
Do you still have that little room on the 3rd floor in the back?
Oh, I love that little room, Mrs. Emery. I can look out and see the garden.
I was thinking, why couldn't we give you all the other rooms as well? The rooms the other servants used to have.
All of them?
Well, why couldn't we knock out the partition between your room and what used to be the cook's room?
I'd have 2 windows.
And make one of the other rooms into a really big dressing room.
Oh.
And maybe put in some kind of a kitchen for you with a hot plate and a refrigerator.
Oh, Mrs. Emery, I never thought I never imagined in my wildest dreams.
No. It's all settled.
Oh.
I'm going to stay right here in bed all morning and make plans.
I don't know how to thank you, Mrs. Emery.
Don't try. It's my pleasure.
I just hope I deserve all of...
Oh, before I forget, Dorothea.
Oh, yes.
Last night while I was drinking your lovely chocolate, an idea came to me. You and I are rattling around in this big house.
Oh, we certainly are.
And I was wondering, well, how would it be if we invited Miss Lawrence to stay with us? Miss Constance Lawrence? Do you remember her?
Isn't she the one who teaches school? Used to come to dinner once in a while. And after she'd help Mr. Emery with the double-cross stick?
That's Connie.
Oh.
I thought we could open up the 2 big rooms on this floor in the back. In that way, she and I would have separate quarters and not be, bumping into each other all the time. Of course, I imagine she'd expect to take care of her own room.
Oh, I wouldn't mind. What's 2 more rooms?
You wouldn't mind cooking for her?
Oh, what's 1 more person to cook for nothing?
Oh. Well, then, it's all settled.
My goodness. The house will be kind of lively again. Almost like before. Not quite, of course, but... Well, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, Dorothea. It will be more lively.
Off, will you? Then I'll scratch your head for you. Oh, dear. You're just going to have to wait. I'm sorry, Goldie. Hello?
Connie, this is Alice Emery.
Alice, how are you? Long time no see.
Well, I don't get out a great deal.
Maybe we could have dinner some evening. Would you like to come here?
Well, I thought you might like to come here.
Well, if you'd rather... Heaven knows your dinners are better than mine.
Connie, I want you to come here for good. I mean to live.
To live? To live with you?
Why not? We've known each other practically all our lives, and I've got this huge house. I've got Dorothea to look after us. You could have your own quarters overlooking the garden. We live quite independently since I'm in the front, and you're at school till 3, and by the time you get home, I'll be at the community chest. We'll just meet for dinner. Maybe have a little nip together first. Oh, Connie, say you will.
Oh, Alice, I don't know. I've lived here for so long.
That tiny little place? High time you got out of it.
But I'm used to it. And then there's Goldie. You know, my canary.
Bring Goldie with you. We'll find a nice sunny window.
Alice, it's all very tempting, but... I don't know.
Think about having 2 big rooms and vegetables out of the garden and being waited on. And Connie, think of the money you'll save.
Well, yes, but all the same...
You've just got to say yes, Connie. Take the afternoon to think about it and call me back.
I will, Alice. I'll call you soon.
Fine. Bye.
Bye, Alice. Oh, dear. It all sounds so luxurious. 2 rooms and fresh vegetables. And someone to cook for me. But I can't leave this little place. I can't give up my afternoons. Why, I couldn't live without my afternoons. I know this place is small and dark and furniture is dingy and the bathroom is old-fashioned. But we've never minded, have we, dearest? Have we?
It's a very small place, Connie.
But if I move into Alice's house, I might lose you forever. You might never come to visit me again, and all my lovely afternoons would be really over.
You're not to worry, Connie.
You mean we can go on as we always have?
Only we'll have more room.
Well, if you say so.
Trust me, Connie.
Oh, I do trust you, Charlie. Haven't I always trusted you? All these years.
His flesh may be weak, but the spirit of Charles, or Charlie, is very, very willing. Also very inventive and very persuasive. Ah, well, there's nothing like the love of a good woman, unless it's the love of 2 good women. We'll come back in a bit for Act 2.
This is WR New York, an RKO General Station.
Now we come back to our story. We seem to have uncovered a triangle here. Connie, Alice, and Charles, or Charlie, as Connie calls him. And the apex of the triangle is naturally, if you'll pardon my chauvinism, the man. Listen now to the second act of The Ghost at the Gate.
What a lovely dinner that was, Alice.
Was it, Connie? It was the wine that made everything taste so good. Whatever gave you the idea of bringing home a bottle of wine?
Alice, it's the first anniversary of me moving in here. Don't you realize? I've been here a month.
Well, for heaven's sakes. Why, it seems like a week. Or it seems like you've always lived here. I don't know which.
It has worked out, hasn't it?
Has it ever worked out?
I was so afraid it wouldn't.
You know what? It's meeting just for dinner that's done it. Leading separate lives except for dinner. Connie, let's have wine every night. This wine. What kind is it?
I can't quite make out what the label says. Oh, it's in French.
Oh, so never mind.
It's got a picture of a house on it.
If it's French, it's a chateau.
I didn't know that. You're very clever, Alice.
Save the label, and I'll order a case of it.
Must be really nice to have money.
I've always found it to be nice.
I guess money is about the nicest thing in the world.
Money isn't.
Love is. Oh, yes. First comes love.
Friends come second, then money.
How about friends who have money?
Oh, Connie, you're very witty tonight.
So are you, Alice. Witty and profound.
Seriously, though, Connie, you have been happy here, haven't you?
Oh, Alice, my beautiful room, the marvelous food. Having Dorothea to make my bed and clean up, it's heavenly. You're stuck with me.
Oh, I am so glad, Connie. You can't imagine how glad. Is there any more of that wine?
More than half a bottle.
Oh, good. Let's...
Mrs. Emery?
What? Oh, Dorothea. What is it?
It's after 9 o'clock, Mrs. Emery.
You don't say.
I was wondering, should I bring your clear consommé upstairs to you?
What clear consommé?
Well, Mrs. Emery, we talked about it last night. Remember when you decided to give up the chocolate, and then we tried apple juice and prune juice and lemonade, and last night you said clear consommé because it has a nice aroma?
Well, I did say that, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
What time did you say it was?
9:15.
My goodness.
What's the matter, Alice?
Past time. Past my bedtime.
You want the consommé?
Oh, to heck with the consommé. I'll take the wine. You don't mind, do you, Connie?
Why, no, Alice.
Oh, let me have your glass, too, all right?
Sure, Alice.
I've got my glass, Connie. Forgive me for eating and running.
Alice, it's your house.
I simply didn't realize the time. 9:15. Heavens.
She'd better not drink any more of that wine. She's not used to it. Neither am I. Only tonight we were celebrating my being here a month. Mm. Why did you want 2 glasses, Dorothea? Oh, she always wants 2. 2 cups, 2 bowls, 2 glasses. One of her little ways. But tonight she took my glass. Do you suppose she wants me to join her? I wouldn't know, Miss Lawrence. Maybe. Maybe she's always expected me to join her after dinner, only she didn't want to suggest it. When I moved in here, we agreed that we'd lead absolutely independent lives, not get in each other's way. We've been very careful about that, going to our separate rooms after dinner. Maybe all this time she was hoping I'd stop by her room on my way to my room, and I never noticed Dorothea. That must be it. I wouldn't really know. I never guessed. Oh, how self-centered, how insensitive. I'll never forgive myself. I'm going up there right now and apologize. Can I clear the table now? Do whatever you like. She's got to forgive me. That's all there is to it. Dear, sweet, generous Alice. She'll understand. She'll know I didn't mean to hurt her feelings. Alice, may I come in?
Come on, darling, have some wine.
Alice?
Connie and I had it for dinner, and we just loved it. Try it, Charles.
Charles?
Not at all bad. Nice bouquet.
Charlie! Charlie!
Where did you come from, Connie?
You never told me. How could you, Charlie?
Charlie?
Just give me a moment and I'll explain everything. But I need a moment to think. Then I'll explain.
What did you think of Charlie's explanation?
I've heard it all before.
How he needs lots of love to make the trip from there to here.
He always needed a lot of love, even when he was just here.
Well, he got a lot.
Did he really spend all those afternoons with you? I mean, before he left here and went there?
5 afternoons a week. Alice, do you hate me?
I should.
I know, but do you?
I guess I do when it comes right down to it.
I'll move out. I'll move back to my one room.
But I don't want you to move out. Oh, we were having such a good time. Remember how we were laughing and carrying on at dinner? I haven't laughed like that in years and years.
Could have been the wine.
There's half a bottle left. Should we?
Let's. You don't think we'll turn into a couple of alcoholics, do you?
Not on half a bottle of wine.
Light white wine.
Well, here's to what? Here's to Charles.
To Charlie.
I feel as if I've just buried him.
Said goodbye forever.
Did he really come to see you 5 afternoons a week, Connie?
At 3 o'clock. You see, my school and his bank let out at the same time. It was practically inevitable.
Charlie was a no-good man.
He still is. Only now he's
a no-good ghost.
Oh, Alice.
There's enough wine left for a glass apiece.
Fill her up.
Hold out your glass.
All that guff about needing to be loved and wanted or he couldn't make the trip.
Remember what we were saying at dinner, Connie, about love being the most important thing?
I've always believed that.
And friends being the second most important thing?
Especially friends like you, Alice.
And like you, Connie.
I feel closer to you right now than I've ever felt to anybody. My mother, my father, my canary.
We've been through a lot, Connie. Just in the last half hour. And yet we're still friends. Isn't that amazing?
Truly remarkable.
It must mean something. Something very profound.
Like what?
Like there are times in a person's life when love isn't the most important thing. Friends are.
A friend is.
Yes. Stupid ghost.
Silly, pompous ghost.
You believe in ghosts?
Certainly not.
Neither do I. Never have.
Except Charlie, of course.
Why should Charlie be an exception?
He is for you too, Alice. You know he is.
Tell me something. Why do you believe in him?
Because...
Why?
I want to.
That's why I believe in him, too.
Is that wrong?
Not wrong, but you've got to stop, and I've got to stop. We can't have him visiting you in the back of the house from 3 to 6, and then coming to see me in the front of the house from 9 to 12.
Now that we know, it wouldn't be nice.
Well, we couldn't be friends anymore.
Oh, Alice.
But if we don't believe in him, if we don't desire him, then he'll have to go back there and stay there. He won't be able to come here anymore.
He can't make the trip.
Connie, can you do it?
Stop wanting him?
Yes.
Of course I can. Why, I'm having a wonderful time. I don't need him.
Neither do I.
We'll be better off without him.
We'll be free, Connie.
Liberated women.
Let's drink to that.
Right you are, bottoms up.
Ah, what courage lies in the bottom of a glass. Courage for the shy, the lonely, the frightened, the frustrated, and for the 2 elderly ladies determined to forget a ghost. We'll return shortly with Act 3. Alice and Connie are bravely resolved to forget the man both had loved so long. But what of him? Poor, lonely, unloved ghost, doomed to live on forever in the there, banished forever from the here. What of him?
Connie. Connie. Speak to me, Connie.
That's my sweet Goldie. That's my lovely bird. Happy to see me, sweetheart?
Connie, I know you're here.
I'm here, Charlie, but you're not.
I am so.
I don't believe in you anymore.
You do, too.
And I don't love you or want you. So there.
Connie, you are being very cruel.
I expect I am.
If you don't believe me, why are you talking to me?
Don't try to confuse things, Charlie.
Answer my question. Why are you talking to me if you don't believe in me?
Goldie, tell that ghost to go away.
How did it go today, Connie?
Oh, he was around. I could hear him.
What did he want?
The usual. To be loved, to be wanted. I told him no more of that.
You had a conversation with him?
Not much of a one.
You haven't stopped believing.
Have you stopped, Alice?
I think so.
You haven't. If you'd stopped, you wouldn't say, I think so. You'd know.
Oh, Connie, how can I know?
Mrs. Emery,
What is it, Dorothea?
do you want clear consomme in your room tonight or what?
Nothing.
Not anything?
Not a thing.
Oh, well, all right. I had it all ready, but...
That ought to show him, don't you think, Connie?
Alice, it's Charles. It's Charles, Alice. What delicious surprise do you have for me tonight? Orange crush? Pomegranate juice?
Not a blessed thing, Charles.
Ah, you spoke.
I didn't mean to.
But you did. How beautiful to hear your voice.
Oh, don't tell me that old malarkey, Charles.
Malarkey? I never thought I'd hear my wife use a word like that.
I'm not your wife. I'm your widow. And I'm using a lot of words I never used before.
Alice, say you love me still. I can't make the trip unless you love me.
I loved you for 35 years.
Alice, I'm facing eternity. What's 35 years?
Maybe not much there where you are. But it's a long time here. Now I'm going to turn off the light and go to sleep. I was talking to him before I could stop myself.
It was the same with me.
But he couldn't complete the trip because I wouldn't say I loved him.
Same here.
And I really don't think I do love him, Connie. I think I just got into the habit.
Me too.
What does he want to hang around for?
I can't imagine. Must be so beautiful there where he is. Why should he want to come here?
He says it's very peaceful there.
Sounds heavenly.
Not much like here.
Alice, that's why he keeps coming back. He can't stand the peacefulness. He isn't having any fun.
I bet you're right.
No worries, no troubles, no arguments, no problems.
He can't stand it.
That's the way he was when he was here. That's why he took up with me. Why else would he want to have a clandestine affair in the afternoon with a middle-aged school teacher when he had a wonderful wife like you?
He was bored.
He wanted a little excitement.
He still wants it. Funny. I always thought people changed when they left this terrible world. I guess they don't.
I hope I change.
I'd hate to go on the same way for eternity.
Being petty and jealous and suspicious. Oh, no.
Well, how can it be so peaceful there if everyone's the same as they were here?
Maybe. Maybe the others don't stay the same. Maybe they accept all that eternal peace and enjoy it.
In the meantime, Connie, while we're still here, we have a problem that must be dealt with. Let's face it, neither of us has stopped believing in Charles completely.
Alice, I don't know if I'll ever be able to stop completely. Maybe there'll always be some little corner of my mind that goes on believing that Charlie is here.
It's the same with me. And as long as we both have that last little shred of belief he will be here, wandering around the house making bleating noises.
But we won't answer it.
We've got to be strong. Use firm measures.
That's what?
Like rejecting him utterly.
How do we do that?
I have 2 rooms in the front of the house. 2 big rooms with a big bath between. Would you consider taking one of them?
Why,
That would be what I call rejecting him utterly. He'd never try to visit one of us if the other one was there.
Could I bring Goldie?
Of course you can bring Goldie. I'll get a canary, too, of the opposite sex.
You'll hear some real singing then, all right.
Let's skip dessert. Let's go upstairs now and look at the room, and you can decide what furniture you want to keep and which you want to get rid of.
So terribly exciting. Oh, Alice, I don't want to be dead for a long time.
There. The desk between the windows and the chair here. We'll take out the love seat. And that'll leave room for the bed. What do you think, Connie?
I think it's perfect.
Now...
Alice.
Listen to him.
He sounds miserable.
I expect he is. You really dye your hair, Connie?
Do it myself. Want me to? I'll show you how.
I wonder why I ever let myself go gray.
You look lovely, sort of a pale ash blonde.
Pale ash blonde. I like the sound of that.
Connie. Connie. Where are you, my darling?
Poor old thing.
Don't you give in.
Oh, I won't. I won't.
Be strong.
Oh, I will. I swear.
Connie.
Now, you said blue for the walls. Now, what shade of blue? Aquamarine, turquoise, robin's egg?
Turquoise.
Good. And we'll put white crisscross curtains at the windows.
With turquoise tiebacks.
Right. And we'll get a turquoise and white spread for the bed.
Beautiful. Could I possibly have a white rug?
A white shag rug. Why not?
Alice. Connie. Somebody.
Do you mean to sit there and tell me you didn't even take one peek at your new room?
I wanted to wait till you got home from community chess.
Well, right after dinner, we'll look at it together. What if the color is wrong?
The painter showed me a sample. Pure turquoise.
We'll eat fast. I can't wait to see it.
Dorothy had the bed moved in.
Oh, Connie. I hope we'll get along as well as we've been getting along after you move in.
We will. We will. And Charlie will go back there and settle down.
He'll be much better off.
He'll thank us.
If I know Charles, he won't.
Well, if you don't know him, I don't know who does.
Unless it's you.
You know, you're right there.
Connie, I had a thought. What if I went to the community chest in the morning instead of the afternoon? That way, when you get through school, we could do things like go to the movies.
Oh, Alice, for fun!
And you know what else? Weekends, we could take a train into the city and see a play.
Or a concert.
Or go to a museum.
Oh, Alice! All those things I've been wanting to do, only I didn't want to do them alone.
And you know what else?
You mean there's more?
Well, you have that 2 months off in the summer. We could go to Europe.
Europe?
I'll pay, of course. Now, don't argue. I'm your rich friend, so I'll pay.
Alice, say it again. We're doing the right thing by Charlie, aren't we?
Charles must stop being a ghost and settle down.
And be happy. He will be happy, won't he?
Charles will be happy there in whatever way they are happy there. Just as we will be happy here. I dare say the ways are different, but to each his own. Isn't that the expression?
Oh, Alice, you do have a way of making everything sound simple.
It is simple. If you stare the facts in the face and don't waver.
I hope we're not being selfish.
We're being realistic, that's all. Sometimes realistic and selfish look like the same thing, but they're not. Finished your coffee?
Uh-huh.
Then guess what we're going to do?
Go look at my new room.
Yes, only wait a minute. Dorothea!
I simply can't wait to see it.
Yes, Mrs. Emery.
You know that case of French wine I ordered? Did it come? The one with the picture of the chateau on the label.
It came last week.
Well, will you uncork a bottle and bring it upstairs to my suite? To our suite.
Oh, Alice.
And 2 glasses.
Yes, Mrs. Emery.
Connie, you and I are going to drink to a brand new life. 3 new lives. Yours, mine, and his. Come along. Come in, Dorothea.
Oh, good. The wine's arrived.
Just set it down here, Dorothea.
Yes, ma'am.
Dorothea, Miss Lawrence and I have decided to go to Europe for 2 months this summer.
Oh.
So you'll have a good long vacation instead of your usual 2 weeks. Full salary, of course. You're free to go where you like, or you can stay here.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Emery. I don't know where I'd go exactly.
Well, suit yourself. Pour the wine, Connie.
Will that be all for this evening?
That'll be all.
Then I'll say good night to you both.
Good night.
Sleep well, Dorothea.
Thank you. 2 whole months. They'll be gone 2 whole months. What'll I do with myself?
Dorothea?
Where would I go?
Dorothea?
What would I do if I stayed here in an empty house?
Dorothea, can't you hear me?
I'd be all by myself.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
If there were just somebody...
There is. There is. If you'd only listen.
Somebody like him.
There is me, Dorothea. Oh, Dorothea, hear me.
But he's gone.
Believe in me.
Never to return.
Love me. Want me.
And I loved him so.
Dorothea, listen.
And I still do. Oh, I love him still.
Dorothea, look at me.
Why, Mr. Emery.
I thought you'd never notice.
Have you been here long?
Not too long.
I'm so surprised. I thought I'd never see you again. Ever.
Well, now you do.
But it's like a miracle had been performed.
A lot of good hard work is more like it.
I've never forgotten you.
Really?
Well, I know it was just that one weekend when Mrs. Emery went to her 25th college reunion, but I've never forgotten.
That was quite some time ago.
I was younger then, of course.
You haven't changed, Dorothea. Not an iota.
Oh.
Still fresh, and plump, and adorable.
Oh, you mean that?
I've never meant anything so much in my life. Or since. Dorothea, could you love me?
But I do love you, Mr. Emery.
You do?
I've never loved anyone else. Not since that weekend. You came up to my room on the 3rd floor, don't you remember?
That tiny little room. Yes, I do remember.
Oh, you're going to be around for a while?
For a long while, Dorothea. Practically indefinitely.
Will you be here this summer?
This summer, and this fall, and all next winter and next year. For as long as you want me, Dorothea.
Oh.
Come on. Let's go up to the 3rd floor.
Mr. Emery, could I ask you something first?
Anything, Dorothea. Anything.
Do you mind if I call you Chuck?
Of course I don't mind.
Then come on, Chuck. Follow me.
I'm right behind you, Dottie. Right behind you.
So, Charles continues his mad pursuit of life after death. And I, for one, wish him the best of luck. And the best of luck to Connie and Alice with their new hairdos and their new pantsuits. Good luck to them all. Good luck to all of us. It's what we need the most. I'll be back shortly. Our cast included Beatrice Straight, Paula Truman, Joan Loring, and John Barragrave. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Would you like a shout out? Leave a comment in the section below. Tell me who you want to shout out to, who you want to shout out from, and we'll get it up here for you. Hey, we want to say thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any. You got a lot more of these up there. Go check them out under the playlist. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you want to see, what you think, and we'll see you next time.